Hello, everyone. It's lovely to see you all today. I am here with one of my most favorite people, mentors, teachers, friends, Annemiek van Helsdingen from the Academy of Soul-Based Coaching. How are you doing today, Annemiek?
Oh, I'm well, thank you, Eimear, and I love hanging out with you. So that makes my day.
Me too. And I love then recording and sharing this magic with everyone who's here to receive it. So yeah, what would you like to talk about? What's going down in your neck of the woods just now?
Yeah, well, we're getting ready for a very exciting free 5-day coach training next week, and I'm really excited about it because we've done things like this before, where we've gone into the nitty gritty of the modality of how we work in soul-based coaching, but now we're actually going to zoom out a little bit and look at why this is so incredibly timely and important, and it's got everything to do with the fact that we're working from a new paradigm in coaching, and I think it makes me so happy that this is available, that this is here for us to work with. And I know you know all about soul-based coaching, being one of our coaches and former trainers as well. But in a way, you could say it's something I stumbled on. Like it's not an ego thing when I say, how this is new paradigm coaching. It's just that it's what it does. And it is something that I'm so grateful for, because we need the support to get outside of the paradigms that we've been born and raised in. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about next week, and help people have experiences of.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Just all your events are always so gorgeous and amazing and infused with so much magic. Thank you for speaking about that. And I'm curious when you talk about you almost stumbled upon this way. Do you want to speak more about that? Like,
Yeah,
is it
sure.
a
Yeah,
different
it's
journey?
it's you know, from whenever I was very young, I was one of those kids who was observing and looking at, so why do people do the things that they do? Like, even when they're not getting what they want, sometimes it's like, how does this all hold together? Like, I was just puzzled by what the grown-ups, but also, the other kids are doing. And it got me into this learning process of how can we help people have, get more of the experience that they're looking for. And that brought me into corporate consultancy and change work and coaching eventually. um, and I was always wondering about, in university they've given me, I don't know how many models for organizational change. There's like so many books and so many theories out there, and I was always wondering, like, which one do we then use, like, and why would we use one and not the other? Like, how does that matter? Or like, how does that work? What could we do best? Especially because in that field, like, there's like so much money and time that goes on in there, but there's very few organizational change projects that are actually successful, that actually end up where people want to end up, or in a better place even. And so I was like, how come that we are creating these circuses, where people get like bothered and annoyed and, like, you know taken advantage of, that actually are not even giving the results that we're looking for? What do we need to do differently? Like, what is working? What would create sustainable change? So, or even regenerative change that actually keeps on growing and becoming more and better. And I'm not just talking about having, more money on the bottom line. It's about systems that are healthy, and that look after all of the parts of the system, which include their environment, of course. And so that's where my fascination was, but also my annoyance and my, like, I can't believe that we're doing this. And so this is how, I was just looking for like what would make the difference, like what would work. And this is how I stumbled on a methodology for change that actually is incredibly powerful. And I started to infuse that in my corporate work. And together with two colleagues, we brought that methodology into the Netherlands, and worked with it for quite a while. And really seeing that it was a way of inviting change from within, whether that was from within a team or a corporation or from an individual when it came to coaching. And like when I stumbled on that, I was like, yeah, actually none of the other models are needed anymore, because this is how we can get right to the essence, and yeah, and help the change that wants to happen from there. Yeah.
Wow.
And so,
Wow.
and that was just the first part, right? Because I
Yeah.
did that for a while, and I actually said to my colleagues at some point, like, we're corporate priestesses. I was not allowed to say that to our clients, um,
Love that.
but we totally were. We were creating the spaces where alchemy could happen, where change could start to happen, and the system could learn from itself and evolve in the container that we would hold for that system. Um, and if you would have asked me then, I would have said, I'm right where I need to be. This is me. This is my calling in this lifetime. But then my health said kind of, no, not true. And I was invited to let everything go and really start from scratch, like the deepest whispers, the most true version of me needed to come through, because that was the only way I could do anything at that point. And this is when I started to see that all of the things that I'd gathered were super useful and very powerful, but that they were missing one layer. And that was that priestessing layer. It was that spiritual essence of human beings that also needs to have a place, even but without dogma. So that's a really important part of it. So there needs to be a space for that, so that it can show itself, it can be part of change solutions, without there being any authority from the outside that says, it has to go this way, or you have to do it like that, or this is where the problem lies. And so, yeah, this is how soul-based coaching came to be. Yeah.
Gosh, I'm just getting tingles all over. And just even when you speak about like so many models and which one, like it's so confusing. Which one do I want to use this time round? And then just imagining you as being this like undercover corporate priestess, and how many others are feeding this too. This, we're not going to say it out loud, but we are this, doing it in this environment where it may not feel welcome in that
Yeah.
outright way.
Well, yeah, exactly. When we use these words, people might get spooked, but they're enjoying the work. They're reaping the benefits. Yeah. Yeah.
And then what difference did it make then when you were invited to fully step in and bring the priestess into the work that you were doing? What then? Well, what difference did it make for you?
Mm. I think there was, on a very practical level, it meant that at a time where I was having real trouble walking up the stairs, like my energy, my body was like so depleted, my immune system was so screwed up at the time. But actually, when I stayed that close to myself and invited that layer into, I could start to do some things again. So it was a very like a small bridge over a very deep ravine almost, that actually allowed me to live, to contribute, to I could just feel that I was not ready to sit behind the window and just kind of watch life go by, I just felt like in every fiber of my body that I had things to contribute, that but also and also that I wanted to be able to take care of myself, to take care of my family. So I wanted to contribute. And so that was a very important difference that make, allowing that spirituality into my life, not as an optional that I do for a hobby, like or an interesting thing that I do with some crystals on the side. Nothing wrong with crystals, although that's a whole different conversation. But it's like, it wasn't just a hobby, it was essential. It was a part of who I am in this life. And what I'm noticing is that the more that I was allowing that, also in the teaching that I was started to do, because people wanted to know what I was, the things that I'd learned about. But the more I started to allow that dimension into my life, the more I felt whole, at home, nourished. It was like finding this space in life where actually everything is okay in this moment, like always, even in their hard, dark places. And I realize I'm saying that from a place of privilege. I'm not living in a war-torn zone, which is a whole other level. But there is this opening, like we're moving through life in our Western world in such a rushed, mind-led experience, where we're so focused on problems and to-dos and ideas about what life should look like. And it's like, when I start to invite this layer into my work, and see it happen with my clients, there is this, it's almost like there's like a window or a portal opening up that is so full of resourcefulness and goodness. And I think it's our birthright. Like we're supposed to live in relationship with that. And so I think that's what a difference it's made. It's opening up that natural part of human, being human, and allowing that to help us, heal, make changes, without it being that kind of extraction. I want it, so I'm going to get it no matter what. I'm going to, mind over matter. I'm going to make it happen kind of approach to change. This is actually opening up like the full spectrum of being human, and seeing that there is so much potential for healing, for change there, that we can just tap into, that we actually don't need that extraction paradigm to run the show. This is not a short answer, sorry.
Amazing. I can just feel the depth as well, and the limitless possibility when you speak of this portal opening, and the magic that I've experienced and continue to experience, and that we see our clients experience, of like just what unfolds when we hold this space in that way. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, and it's almost beyond words as well. Right? It's something that people get to experience. And then, for most people who've had any kind of spiritual experience is the best word that I have for it, but anyone who's done like ritual, or who sat in circle, or who find themselves having this relationship with spirit, or God, or goddess, or whatever the word is, people recognize that the portal that opens up is in that space, or brings them into that connection. And at the same time, it brings them to their own sovereignty. Like these go together, in my view, or in my experience as well. And that is such a powerful place to be, be rooted in.
Yeah. I feel this is the journey home, that it's why we're here. I feel at this time to return home to this sovereignty and let the magic unfold from there as it does.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow, thank you so much. There's so much gold there, so much. Would you like to share what you have coming up? You mentioned at the start.
Yeah, of
Would you like to
course.
say any more about
Yeah,
what's
it's like
happening in your?
it's because we're getting to this place that is in a way beyond words. It really helps people to be able to experience the work for themselves. And so this is why we do a 5-day free coach training, which is both some, there's a few days with recorded videos, and then we have 2 live workshops where you can really dive in and have that experience for yourself and see what happens when you start to work in the soul-based coaching way. And so we're going to talk about the new paradigm in coaching, why it's needed. We're going to talk about what clients are craving and really longing for when it comes to the changes that they want in their lives. We're going to talk about money and capitalism and value and community, and the tangled up mess that we are sitting with at this point in time, and how to start teasing that apart, so that we can take up our space in this world where we're really the skill set that we teach is so incredibly needed. And then we're also going to look at what happens when we turn the coaching paradigm upside down, and start to really allow that deep inner knowing that our clients have to lead the way. And that is a huge unlearning for most people, as I can see you nodding,
Oh
as well
yes.
as learning new skills and tools. But you're definitely going to step away with things that you can immediately start to use in your conversations, whether you're already a coach or not, and start to tap into some of that magic that we've been talking about here.
Wow, that is so gorgeous.
And we're going
And
to
yeah,
start on Monday, May
Monday.
9th, I think it is. And we're going to go for the whole week with a little dessert on Saturday.
Ooh. Oh, so gorgeous, gorgeous. And we'll put links for people to sign up to that. All your trainings are delicious and gorgeous, and wow, 5 days of free training. Amazing.
Mm,
Thank
yeah.
you so much.
Oh, thank you. It's such a pleasure to hang out with you, Eimear.
Same, same. And there's so much
Mm.
else I know we can talk about. But yeah, any final words that you'd like to share with people before we wrap up?
I'm so excited that the people that find ourselves in our community, we are together, we are the pioneers, right? We are the ones who are carving out the way forward, like bit by bit, piece by piece, not because we have the answers, but because we're willing to be in this unfolding and to train ourselves with the skills that's going to make sure that we can support each other. This is not something that we can do alone. And at the same time, it is such an incredibly inspiring thing to be able to do for individual clients that we work with. So I'm so grateful for the people that come together to do this work. Yeah. And I know you
Yeah,
recognize that.
I absolutely do. And I feel the power in that, and I can feel the energy of the people being called forth to step in as well. That's gorgeous. Oh, thank you so, so much.
Thank
It's been
you
wonderful,
very much.
wonderful to speak to you. And for everyone watching, we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye bye.